Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Devotees, welcome again. Sitaram to each and every one of you. Let's all stand as we begin with Alti. For those of you looking at, for those of you looking on live, welcome again. We are on the 15th session of Bhagavad. Everybody put your hands together. Ladies, please cover your hair and assume a posture fitting addressing your Lord. Take a second and say a prayer to Him as we are about to get into our discourse. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam grahina yojitam mayam Deepam grihana devesham Trailokyatimirapaham Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan ki hai aarati Bhagavat Bhagavan ki hai aarti papiyon ko paap se taarti ye amar granth ye mokti pant ye pancham vera nirala nav jyoti jagane wala. Let's sing together, everybody. Hari Gyan yahi vardaan yahi Hari Gyan yahi vardaan yahi Jagati mangal de aarti Everybody. Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan ki hai aarti papiyon ko paap se taarti ye shanti geet pavan puneet paapo ko mitane wala hari darshan dikane wala सुख करनी है दुख हरनी है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी ये मधुसूदन के आरती पापियों को पाप से तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती मधुर बोल जग पंद खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला मधुर बोल जग पंद खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही प्रभु की महिमा के आरती हो पापियों को पाप से तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से तारती हे नंद नंद गोपाल Come on, everybody, let's sing together just a little bit. Hey, Nanda Nanda Gopal, Nanda Nanda Gopal. Hey, Nanda Nanda Gopal. Nanda Nanda Ananda Nanda Yadunanda Nanda Gopal. Hey Nanda Nanda Gopal, Nanda Nanda Gopal. Hey Nanda Nanda Gopal, Nanda Nanda Gopal. From where you are, just us, none of these professionals here now. Croakers together. Hey Nanda Nanda Gopal, Nanda Nanda Gopal. Hey Nanda Nanda Gopal, Nanda. Hey Nanda Ananda Nanda Yadunanda Nanda Gopal. Hey Nanda Nanda Yadunanda Nanda Gopal. Let's pray together, everybody. Gajananam. Lift your voice. Kapeta Jambu Uma Sutam Sho Namami Viganeshwara Sarvamangala Mangalye Sharanye Narayani Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Tasmai Shri Om Namo. Everybody. Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. One more time. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Everybody, please have your seat. Make yourself comfortable. As we have been from night after night doing discourse about this 10th Skandha of Bhagavad, tonight we're going to do chapter 64. Let's reflect a little bit before we go forward. I've been saying Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. I started doing prayers when I was 14, 1996. And I've been saying it since. Many people say it with me. But in our Yag, when you heard the history of Bihari, when you hear people say Banke Bihari Lala Ki Jai, it was an eye-opening discourse, side discourse, little tidbit, nothing to talk about. But you say it. But I don't know why I say it. Vrindavan, in the city of Vrindavan, Bihari lived there. His son, Bihari's Lal, is Krishna. And him, I wish victory, I wish his name to be victorious. Like that, there are many examples of things to do and things not to do. Our Bhagavad is a little template for people to follow on the path of bhakti. People say you have to have love, and that's easy to see. You have to have feelings. You're doing the prayer, do it with the right feeling, do it with the right thinking. But until you have the experience to understand what that is or what it looks like, a person may be doing the prayer, but they may be lost, in all fairness. One way we gain that experience, you learn from the people around you. Whilst I could give a piece of paper with a procedure for any, choose a vrat, fast on Ganesh Chaut, I think was yesterday. Fast, remain without this, remain without that, abstain from this, etc. That procedure, that type of Sankhya Yoga or knowledge does not have any type of feeling in it. And the person could follow it like how you follow a cake recipe. But the main ingredient in prayer is you. The tarya could be nice, the prasad could be nice, the bedi could be well decorated. And if done for nefarious reason, Ravan prayed to Lord Shiva. So many discourses we've spoken about in our last episode. We did where Lord Shiva had to fight Krsna in Bhagavad. Somebody does Lord Shiva prayer in a summary. Does Lord Shiva prayer, but he wants Lord Shiva to be his security guard. That if anybody should try to attack here, stand here and fight. He gains a lot of blessing from Lord Shiva. And he asks, I've become so powerful now, there's nobody who willing to fight me. Send me a good battle, a good opponent. And Lord Shiva watch him like he's mad. You get so corrupted now you're praying for somebody to fight you. And you want a powerful fighter. No problem. In the same way as we have been gathering information, we spoke about why the peacock feather is on Lord Krishna's head. What was Mother Yashoda's motive? It gives the person ammunition to conduct themselves. And I'm just drawing on one or two, we've spoken a lot. So that when faced with a scenario, you will know how to handle yourself. Let me draw an example. Somebody comes to you, your Baba, not me, not Pandit Amitabh, no, not Pandit Gopal. Your Baba, your friend, your friendly Baba, your Guru is doing prayer with you, and I've seen fabric, the flag, let's just say the dhoti or the cotton that we all use in puja. And a child, imagine a child, innocently, not in any way disrespectful, says, I see you do the best prayers. Could you tell me why you charhawid or gave in your prayer, whatever prayers you had, a little piece of flag, a small flag? If we live in abroad, the bamboo is be long like my arm. So the flag sometimes small, chunky flag. Trinidad, you wouldn't dare put up a flag like that. You wouldn't say this is the house flag, etc. Why? Why do you do that? And the person was saying, well, Babs, the Pandit tell me to do it. Pandit Amitabh tell me to do that, so I do it. The now tell me to do that. My mother tell me shut my mouth and do it. So I do it. Don't ask me why. The problem with that approach, you get through, the prayers gonna happen, the flag up up. But when the Baba open him out and say, well, say your prayers. And me, why are you doing this for? Where you going and talk to God about? I am giving something here because somebody tell me to put it. The conversation can't be there, God. It says, when you give Garud Puran, if I give cotton the day I'm in danger, the day my life has to come out of my body, that type of moment, you will come to save me. So today things are good. We are celebrating anniversary. Today is the birthday. So I'm making an investment in myself. I use an English word for everybody to work with me. Things good now, so I settle. I can focus right now. And I'm giving you this cotton. Small prayers, big prayers. Who is the Pandit or whichever deity you're worshiping, you give cotton. I'm giving this today. I'm good. So that the day things are not good, you will come quick and save me. Let me use an example. On the highway and the car come and hit me. In that moment, check yourself. In that moment, I don't know if it's I don't know if I am good enough to accommodate men. If I'll think Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. But I could do it when I am normal, stable. Ask yourself, the day you get the chest pain, the day you have a scary moment, the day the snake corner you. You're living in a life right now. We have false security. We have all the burglar proof. All you much burglar proof I have? The welder love me, you know. The welder loves to see me. And you tell yourself, well, put up all the burglar proof and you'll be safe. And as we said in the Katha, where Krishna comes out of Dwarka, and the demon starts to chase him, as you leave, there's somebody watching you. Some people could be a family and they're watching what you have. Our text doesn't talk about strangers, you know. The stranger doesn't know what you have in your underwear drawer or your kitchen cabinet. But your family, your close ones, who you think you can trust. Unfortunately, Kali Yuga says, those are the ones that have those are the ones that have access to you and sometimes bring you down. If a person is living in such a circumstance, and we now have to find means to protect ourselves better than the burglar proof. The Hindu depends on simple things like cotton. Dear God, today I give. Karma says how I give is so I get. I'm giving the cotton, I'm giving the flag, I'm giving the jersey, whatever it be. It doesn't stipulate. Some people say it has to be this and it has to be that. That's not true. Half of the things we use today did not exist when these books were written, to be quite honest. The book refers to the cotton that is coming from a plant. The one you pick from a tree. Not what you and I go and shop for in a store or a puja store. Somebody once argued, Baba, it cannot be a washcloth, it cannot be a towel. Correct. But do you think 5,000 years ago it had a puja store selling a ball of wick or medical cotton for you to go and pick that? Truthfully, no. So it becomes whatever you choose based on what you could afford. That is what I'll give with the right mental state. Because suppose I went to give this, and this is where we are going to talk a little bit tonight. I'm doing the prayer, I'm giving the biggest towel, I'm giving the best sari. But suppose Keshava said, as I was doing it, are they bound to put an extra towel, boy? Did I really have to give that extra yard of cloth? Problem with that is, physically you give it, but because of how your mind is, that is where in Gita he talks about sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Because of how you think is not only the physical act, but how you think when you're doing it. A person could give what they could afford, a very little meager gift, and give it with a good mind, and get more betterment and more outcome than giving the big hurrah and you're griping over it. That happens. In this discourse, Krishna is guiding us of how, after listening to all what we've been discussing about the different enemies, the different demons that exist, the question comes, just like the example with the cotton, what could I do to protect myself? How do I get around the karma? If life becomes a gift of time by God, for a person to reap the benefits of good karma, to experience the benefits of negative karma. We talked about negative karma causing a parent to live to see the funeral of their child. You have to go and do this funeral, and God make this happen. People start to beat God and blame God. We spoke about that. What's going on here? Instead, as he will say tonight, it have times when we could help ourselves by working around the karma, by using your prayers, but you have to understand it. If you do not do your prayers with the right bhakti, if Bhagavad becomes a textbook of bhakti, how to have this emotion, the person has to understand the value of the little things that you and I do. That is why in yesterday's discourse, last night's discourse, he says, to gain the power and the blessing, the protection of Krishna, the person does charity, feeds people, does different type of vrat or vows, Ekadasi breath, full moon breath, etc. The person endeavors into different means to get the blessing. Let's join together. Everybody put your hand together. Babs, all you can do this, Samran. Bab, what's the word? No. Where Nandi? Nan. Alright. Dobara, leave she. The Sumran is a prayer where you're asking the Bhagavad, you're asking Krishna for permission to listen. And by listening to it, let the manifestation of the solution to my problems come in my life. When you chant this, it is an invocation to opening the text. If this is not chanted and you are trying to get blessings from Bhagavad, good luck. You are going to lose a certain percentage of your prayer. You're going to tell me, Baba, I do Bhagavad, I went Bhagavad, I doing. But somehow the problem is changing. Then you follow the procedure and you do it properly. And you ask God for the help that you want in the right way. And then it will work. Everybody put your hand together, close your eyes, cover your hair, and ask for the help that you need before we go into our discourse. You ready? Sit down here. Prem se Balavindravan Bihari Lal ki jai. So consider where we started. If I have problems in my life, there must be a way to fix it. But if what we do, we work with, well, try this tablet, it'll work for me, and it'll work for you kind of approach. The problem is your problem is your problem. Like your sickness, your body may react differently to the same tablet. You're going to kill yourself. You're taking a chance. Prayer, just like problem, is a very personal thing. There are methods, but the way you interpret, the way you think, the way you pray is unique to you. So it must come based on your problem, a solution to fit. Because different people would sit in a Yagyashala, and the one thing the Pandit says, you will interpret it totally different. Different things would jump out to you as a woman, different things will jump out to you as a man. Sukadeva Goswami is continuing to speak to Raja Parikshit. He says, I have heard about the son of Krsna. I have heard about the grandson, Anirudh. I have heard how many children, daughters and son my Kanha had. Could you please tell me something that he taught his boys? He has children. Give me a discourse where Krishna played the part as a father, teaching his children those lessons that they needed in order to survive, in order to strive, in order to overcome. Parikshit is asking this on the heel of that discourse where when Krishn's first child is born, 6 days after the child born, kidnapped. His grandson, the first one, lying on the bed, big man, and something using Mohana type of prayers, unrighteous type of prayers. Kidnapped that too, big man. So they are accustomed getting attacked from all sides in different ways. Spiritual attack, physical attack, different. When he went in the forest looking for the gem, people started bad talk the man. Till today, when that full moon come in for the Ganesh Utsav, and the person happened to watch, the worst type of false accusation you'll get. And the solution is from this Bhagavad discourse, where he went looking for Satyajit, his father-in-law, gem. And the babysitter is holding the child of Jamwant. And the prayer that she echoes there is till today we say it and beg and beg, dear God, stop before this trouble take me. Thank you. Before this trouble take me, cut this false accusation. The solution, you understand what I'm showing you? The solution is there, but you have to know it. When you end up in problems, you may not be able to get out of your trouble. If you wait for the trouble to come, get you, hold you, and now you're showing interest. Prayer doesn't work like that. Let's hear what happened as Sukadeva Goswami is answering the questions of Raja Parikshit. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. 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 Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Uka Vista Manasa Tasya Chaudya Yena Palkrudasya Kripa Kripa Rajye Yati Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. 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 Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. At one point, Samba Pradyamna and the other sons of Krishna went to a big field to play with their father. In this park, they were chasing after each other on their chariot, and he was teaching them how to use different weapons, how to practice aiming and shooting. Things that Sandapani Rishi had taught to Krishna, he was teaching his sons now. How to have respect, how to pull back, how to show mercy in different ways, how to do these things by first-hand example. And when, after that entire chase and that entire day, in the heat, in the humidity, they got very thirsty. And the brothers jumped down and they started to look for water. And where they found the pond, where they found the water, when they looked into the water, they saw some kind of reptile spinning, some kind of animal inside the water. Let's hear what they see inside. Sharma jis paranat yaiva pashoye padvijaye yati Kita tambaramam kaya nashita kulvataye buddhi Jaya bole baba tab sharana Jaya bole baba tab sharana Jaya bole baba tab sharana Jaya samba sada shiva tab sharana Jaya samba sada shiva tab sharana. Being inquisitive boy children started to use the bow and the arrow, and the connecting arrow from head to toe, putting it down into the water to help save the animal. Let the animal climb out of the water. The animal is treading the water to be on the surface so it doesn't die. What is it? It looks like a big lizard. Samba in particular wants to help the animal. Great amount of sympathy. And when the animal started to come out, the size of this lizard is surprising. And when Krishna saw all of them gathered around this well, he comes through. And by seeing Krishna, by being in the presence of Krishna, this animal gets blessed. Let's hear what happened. Tatra mukunda ye mukti Bhagavan bhavaye ye vriksha Swara mukunda karnaye Leela paatye uttam loka Jaya bole baba tab sharana 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 Jaya samba sada shiva tab sharana Jaya samba sada shiva tab sharana Jaya samba sada shiva tab sharana. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Just by looking at Krishna through the practice of darshanam, we do it too. We want to see Ganesh Baba passing in the parade on the road. We step outside and we watch. We have arati going to happen. We stand up and we look at where they are passing the arati. The appropriate stance is to notice when the person is carrying the tali around the murti. By watching that darshanam is, I get the blessing as if I did it with my own hands. When this lizard sees Krishna, the Jeev, just as how a lizard is made that they could drop their tail, to sever their tail as if it's cut, to throw off the predator. In this moment, he gives up this form and the Jeev comes out of the animal. From this moment in this discourse, Lord Krishna is given the name Mukunda. Have you ever heard that name? Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol. Mukunda. Mukunda. He is the one that regardless to your condition, regardless to the state, regardless to your level, spiritual level, he has the innate ability to give you salvation or liberation. The animal now lay dead in front of the boys. And Mukunda, Krishna Bhagwan, smiled. From the body rose up a beautiful form, astral form for children. Imagine like a ghost, but now looking like a murti, what we associate with Lord Vishnu. With this form, all the brothers want to know, how did this horrific looking form have this Devta looking soul inside? How is it that you were trapped in this horrible form, in this horrible place for so long? What type of sinner were you? What sin did you create or do or commit against another person that you got this form? We were talking about decorum and etiquette and the role that parents play to uplift a person. What parenting caused this wretched plight that you have inherited? Please, before you leave this place, O Devta, O Gandharva, please tell us so we wouldn't make the same mistake. Sukdev Goswami says to Parikshit, this person was a king by the name of Nrga. And this person was trapped in this form for some time and remained in this lizard form, treading water, struggling to keep his head above the water, and his body was getting tired after being in this, let me say, potential drowning position for a very long time. And when Samba had asked, what was your history? Why were you in this predicament? He started to answer them. He says, young princes, believe it or not, I am no sinner. Listen what caused this. Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe. Yadhi kurat ye nama yadhi kutu ye nama kintu tejas se jahi nata sarva bhuteshu tve dvij sakshi kule nata Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe Bihari Lala ki jai. This divine person now, this persona looking so good and attractive, confusing the mind of these younger fellas, says, my name was Nrga I was a scion. I was a member of the Ishwaku family. Family, great parentage, great genetics, good people. If you listen to this story, it is a heartbreaking story. Oh sons, listen well. It says I was a very liberal person when I was once a human. I was a king, but I became a servant. I was a king, but I served, I worked to help the people who lived under my care. I did not have the problem of feeling I was better than anybody. I took what I had and what was mine, and I helped. As time passed, I helped people. And when the opportunity to do some charity, I would freely and in a good spirit donate religious items. Don't doubt me, oh boys. I gave cows to young Brahman. I gave cloth to women. I gave bulls to the working class people when they would use the animal to carry their goods from places to sell, from the fields to the marketplace. I fed everybody. I did not show favoritism for anybody. Any person that needed help in my capacity as king, truthfully and diligently I carried about my duty. In my personal life, I became an ardent reader and study of Vedic knowledge, spiritual knowledge. I did endeavor to learn more and more mantra. It attracted me. And in doing it in the right way. So consider this. I know of people that still, in today's world, is the mantra, Panchakshar mantra, 5-syllable mantra now. Is it Om Namah Shivaya or is it Om Namah Shivaya? Don't tell me. Panchakshar Stotra says Namah Shivaya, 5 syllables. Om is called Pranav mantra. That's a separate mantra, believe it. But Namah Shivaya is the fifth syllable. We are surrounded by temple, TV, radio, internet, but in your personal, the mantras that you depend on, we still don't know it. Then, if somebody says, okay, you have a guru mantra, very good. How are you supposed to say a guru mantra? I don't know. Then the person says there are 3 different ways to say mantra. One is mental or mana spray. Guru mantra is in that category. So you don't say your mantra by close your mouth. Step 1. Step 2, I am doing Bij mantra. That's the one with all the ring, shring, them kind of mantra. Calling different energies, devis to bless you. Whisper those prayers. So if I'm sitting next to you, I can't make out what you say. I'm not sure. Then the third type, when I am doing normal mantra, I'm putting Chandan or Hardi or whatever it is, that mantra is pronounced loud. When they say in the Hanuman Chalisa and they're asking God, come, Hanumanji, you come first in the Yagyashala and you are the last to leave. Come, come, come. Say that loud. Saying it in the right volume or intonation, the person is going to get the right benefit. He says, I knew those rules. How to sit when I am honing the mantra prayer, the energy, the bij. I want the seed to flourish within me. So for example, if somebody says how, to use 1 point, when you are doing different type of bij mantra, let's say we want to shanti shani dev prang pring prausa shani ainama. You don't cross your foot like how I'm sitting now, not padmasana or sukhasana. You put your bend in my elbow is your knee. Stretch out your leg. Bring underneath your 2 feet to touch like this and pull your heel. This is your heel. Pull your heel into your private as best as you could. One of the reasons this is done, you are holding the electrical energy and you want it to make a cycle. You don't want to ground off to the earth. We talk about how Mother Earth takes different things from your body. That is why we just be bare feet when prayer is going on. But the person wants to charge their body. So you're making a closed circuit and allowing the energy to run through your body. When people can't bend their foot and sit on the ground, it's a very convenient thing. Just put your 2 feet like this and try to let it meet. And you could be on a chair now, do the same posture and get the same benefit. But suppose I don't know about the posture. You're not going to get the fullest of, the fullest of benefits. Because you're saying the prayers, but it would not sit on you. When you say the prayer and your foot is touching the earth, the negative energy, the gra, the dosh, you call it whatever you want, goes to the earth. And this is why when you are doing certain prayer, you're sitting on kush grass or kush grass mat to hone the positivity of the prayer that you are trying to develop. Omapati Mahadeva ki Jai. He says, I had all of this done, I knew this. I knew how to charge. We talked about the basma, that Lord Shiva, when you watch your Shiva at home and you see he put the front tripunda or the basma mark, yes, on the forehead, but then you'll see it on his throat, you'll see it on his chest, left side, right side, for protection. He knew all of these things, how to use the body and use prayer to get the protection. We spoke about gemology and calling devatas to sit on the gem and then asking solar energy, hit the stone, charge the stone and allow the penetration of that radiation into the person's body. Let me just say wedding ring. Change the person, bring change about them in terms of how they carry themselves, how they think, etc. He says, I practiced that too. He says, I gave meaningful gifts. It have some people, they will say, Babs, I hear you like Karaili, so I want to give you Karaili. No problem, I'll get Karaili. But then it comes, the person knows about what is to be given, meaning I'm given something that will bring back benefit to me. Let me use one example. I have a little prayer by my house. My godfather coming, and I would like to make a gift for my guru. So in my Siddha is the little gift bag like this. That happens. I made sure, I don't know what you do. I made sure and I put black tail, white tail, brown tail. So that when I give it, I'm going to get blessing. Babs, why? What you do that for? What you gonna do with that? If I give him red bean, he could cook the red bean, etc. Agreed. But if you understand the value of the gift, then you'll understand why you give it. Till, in my example tonight, comes from the Katha where Lord Vishnu made Surya Narayana Swami and the sun going up with the ball of fire. And from the ball, the Murti with the 7 horses or the chariot, that came out and he wanted to go and bow by Lord Vishnu's feet. When he touched him, Lord Vishnu started to sweat. From the face come white tail. If you watch your tail when you go, it's like a drop of water. It's a sweat drop. From his face came white tail, chest, thorax, brown tail, legs, black tail. He says the white tail, if you use it in Hawan, give it in Dan, put it in the food, bad things, unrested souls, etc. cannot come out. So in all Hawan, you will see tail. Ward off bad. But then he says, if a person were to put it or use it or give it in charity, white tail is that type of praschit or repentant action. It gives that blessing to overcome sin, where if the way I think, if my thought, I didn't say anything bad, but if I could just kill this man, God, this stupid husband of mine. How I think, if it caused problems, God forgive me for that sin I did. Brown tail, if how I did speak, the morning I prayers, for example, you're hustling again, you're doing, and the husband want to do his own thing at his own speed. It might have some industrial language. If this mouth put me in trouble, God forgive me of that. And the last one, the black tail, I've done this myself, so I'm guilty of this. My neighbor have a nice mango tree, and it's time to get the mango leaf. Pondit coming just now, we had to get the parai bit, the 5 leaf. Me, I'm going to ask my neighbor. Me, I'm going to ask the tree. I'm going to take it. That, in other words, is thieving. But when I reach by the baby, dear Lakshmi Mata, this represents you. Please accept what I have brought for you. Accept all my flowers, which are teeth. Accept all the dubras, which are teeth. All the neem leaf, which are teeth. But God bless me. Eh? So the black tail is placed in case this hand did something. I'm saying it now with a children to understand. If my hands, my actions have incurred sin, dear God, ease me up, forgive me, allow me to come out of it. If I did it when I was young and I didn't know, but I went to pray and I learned about it, and now I'm going to change. Somebody says, I asked the tree, that is why it is asked the tree. It is not yours. Let it become mine. So when I get into the prayer and I'm giving something in charity, it's mine. It belongs to me. This is why when people are helping you prepare something or make something, it is good to owe. Let me just deal with one thing quick. Nowadays, we depend on help. There are places where you pay for roti, you pay for sweets, you pay for anything you want. But you hear people say, well, I'm going to pay you after. There's a problem with that. When you go to offer the laddu or whatever, the good people help you. But you have paid for it. It is not yours. When you're going to give it, what are you getting? It is not yours. So like the puja material, like all the ingredients of your prayer, even the food stuff, finish off those things. People sometimes say, well, Pandit, for whatever reason, we can't do it. Good. That is why you have Sattvic prayer, Rajasic prayer, Tamasic prayer. You're going to see the same color flag, trust me, but not everybody going to get the benefit of the prayer. Let me do a survey. 10 people do Hanuman prayers. You feel 10 people going and get through it, everything they want? No, it have people still waiting one day for God to shine in their life. And Krishna in Gita, in Bhagavad, is the only place he touch on them things. You get so tied up. Everything I am saying in these examples, where we just do is, let me use it now with everybody. Baba, you see how nice material, okay? Buy a new tariya for this present. Buy a new shalwar. Good. I made cream of wheat parsad, and I put the best, the golden raisin. You know that, the nice raisin? Good. And prepare that parsad. Wonderful in that tariya. And not one day give a second thought about the hand we're holding the tariya. We just focus on the gift. Pretty good. I don't give wash rag in the present upon it. I just give full sari. Mother should be in a sari. If I hear somebody talk so, if you just do that, don't say nothing. Nothing wrong in giving the sari. But what about you? What about your behavior, your conduct, your thinking? The man says, I did all this giving. I practice all of this. So Samba, the son of Krishna, we're going to hear about he by Saturday. Samba says, so what wrong you do? Why didn't your prayer work? Did you ever stop to wonder what you are doing wrong? Sinful people keep doing, and they keep doing it the same way, and they would not try to improve on themselves. You're not getting the benefit. And you know what we are saying, you know what we just say when it at work? You know God bad. The better, more popular one, you know that pundit that say that prayer is good. He ain't know what he doing. He can't help me. And then the person starts to jam the pundit. Listen good, this is the truth, and we're talking truth. Let me be honest. You gotta blame somebody. In my case, you can say that man looking rosy, he could total load boy. You jam him. He says, I was going good. And he says, one day, I made a mistake with my Brahman. Brahman it has caused trouble. That word has caused trouble. But Mahabharata is the spot for that. There are many examples of genetically people being born in a home and they never act like a Brahman, not one day. If it was genetics alone, that is part of the example, part of the definition, and that is true that maybe you might be more sensitive If I'm born in a Brahman home, a Pandit home, I might have more patience with people calling. Look, this morning, we exhausted from the jug. Somebody live in England called Baba, the baby now born 3:30 a.m. When prayer, they now married and come. If you answer that phone, I'll kill you on this bed. If you're not accustomed with this lifestyle of making time for people, I could understand that you would never want to do it. But if you grow up in a home like what we all did, mommy used to do it so, daddy used to do it so, I'm going to emulate. There is some strong points of having that example there, to have patience with people who may ask the crazy questions, who may ask something that they already explained and you had to go over it again like a recorder. Tanti is your right hand. Tanti is your right hand. Tanti is your... Because you know if the Baba get vexed, but what kind of Baba you is? How you getting vexed? Don't get vexed. You must not get vexed. Then the other side, the traits of the person. Yudhishthir answers some questions that deal with this. Brahman, by definition, is a person who is knowledgeable of Brahman, or the energy. A fancy word. Let me just say Shakti. The energy that exists inside of every solid liquid gas. In the science lab, we talk about atoms being together, the energy that glue those atoms together. That is the true form of Adi Shakti. The person who could tell you how to solve your problems because of that energy. The person who could teach you how, let me just say, Jari, Ongche, etc., so that you could help yourself. That person who could manipulate that Brahman to bring change is a Brahman. He says, I had a Brahman who was very knowledgeable, and I made a mistake. Long story short, I was given Gaudan, and I gave different Pandit different cattle. There are benefits to giving a bull. There's benefits to giving a cow that is heavy with baby. There's a benefit to giving the cow that just had baby. There's a benefit to giving a meager, kind of maga, kind of tawny cow, they call it. The animal is going through hardship. And you rescue the animal from maybe a owner, you buy it, and you nourish it back to life. And that animal, after feeding it, you give it in down. He says, I had all these different type of cow lined up, and I was ready with good spirit to give this goodly type a gift. What is better than a cow? Everybody here, tell me. Good. What trouble could come from this? How you get in trouble when you're doing good prayers? Let me hear. Samba is the one who mouth little hot. And he's, well, so what you do wrong? Where did you go wrong? Let's hear for our benefit what this man did and why he get in trouble. Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Hari Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallavam Janaki Nayakam Ramachandram Bhaje Bhavanti Nugrahitave Sakala Kundra Rakhe Swayati Jayata Samudratamam Ojayati Narak Sochati Achyutam Keshavam Satyabhamadavam Achyutam Keshavam Satyabhamadavam Madhavam Sridharam Radhika Radhitam Madhavam Sridharam Radhika Radhitam Purva Deva Shubhaye Bhuyadam Achyutam Keshavam Satyabhamadavam Madhavam Sridharam Radhikaraditam Indira Mandiram Sridhasa Sundaram Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayana Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Hari Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabha Janaki Nayakam Ramachandra Vaje Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. He says, when I was given the Govindan, through no error of mine, the animal is freed. It is not tied or secured anywhere. And the one that was offered and went, walked back to drink from one of the cow that was not given in Dan as yet. They all looked alike where they were standing, and I couldn't tell the difference between this and that. And what happened was, I ended up giving the same cattle that I went and give, let me just say, Pandit A. I went and give the same cattle to Pandit B. So the first one, he holds on to his cattle and he says, this was given to me by the king. Why are you holding my cow? Second one says, look, he's still holding the tail. He now give me the animal. And they end up in a little predicament there. And it became clear that he had gifted the same article to two Pandit. The two Pandit don't want to settle. He offers them gifts to compensate for the cow, to do it over in some way to get it. The one who was, he felt like he was cheated. Because he felt this way, he raised his volume and the host insulted this man. The king, the lizard, while he's king, insulted the person. And when he insulted the person, he gets trapped. That you called me here to help you. You called me here to do you a favor. And now I have to get insulted. You will reap what you sow. Left him with that. In his next janam, he was born. Before he's born, Yamraj asked him, when he reached him, what do you prefer? Enjoy the good of what you've done, or do you want to enjoy the bad, the sin, the punishment? So the king says, I did a good portion of good. I expect I have a little bad, whatever it be. Give me all my punishment. And immediately he was transformed into a lizard struggling to stay alive. Fell into this dark hole and he couldn't come out. He says, and this is where I stayed for many years. And I waited here for some help. And it is only because of you, O Krishna, O Mukunda, only because of you today I'm freed from this, my last birth. It is time for me to reap the reward. This soul put his hands together. Let's do it together, everybody. Let me say our prayers. And he talks to Lord Krishna standing where he is. And he says, because of my fate and my destiny, I was put in a position where I inherited pain. But dear God, by just looking at you, just reflecting on your name, today I'm free. Please bless me and bless people that they don't get trapped like me. Deva, Deva, Jagannataya, Govinda Purushot Atmanaha Narayana Rishikeshaya Punya Shatre Kucha Vyarnama Anujahimam Krishna Yantuhu Devagatim Prabhu Yatra Vyapi Sateshwara He Prabhu Bhuya Bhuya Twadeva Parma Madit Damodara Namastubhyam Sarva Bhava Brahmano Nashyate Krishnaya Vasudevaya Yoganaya Yata Yanama Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. He says one of the rules that Pandits have, Brahmins have, is to become somebody to help a person. A person in this life, O Krishna, should strive to have a good relationship with their guide. Just as we understand I should get the right flowers for my puja, I should get the right ingredients for my prayer, I should have the right decorum and the right attitude with this person. Let's call them Guru, let's call them the guide, whichever word you use, Diksha Guru, Vidya Guru, etc. They are placed there. You inherit and associate with these people based on your karma. Why? In our last session, we talked about when you take, well, we mentioned it till, when you take the different grains and your little dollar whatsoever, and you give it to the person, and the person does, just like how Pandit Adish is sitting now doing that whilst we're talking. The person uses it for Gayatri. Whenever you see a Pandit getting Janev, one of the things that he's introduced, he is bounded when they put the kush grass Janev on his body before the string, that he becomes now a master of the Gayatri mantra, and this mantra becomes part and parcel of who he is. So long this person is practicing Gayatri and burning the karma, take your red bean, take your black eye, whatever it is, and offer, dear God, for helping these people, for guiding these people, for doing all their yag and their puja, their shrad, etc. Forgive me, the Pandit, for doing it. Because why? You are guiding somebody to overcome karma. That karma would have brought sickness, death, mayhem, trouble in their family. But the Guru now comes with the knowledge and gives you cheat codes, as it were. If you do that prayer, you're going to fail the exam, you know. You know you're stupid. You know you're stupid. But Baba, give me the prayers that I ain't going to be stupid again. You think what I'm saying? I'm saying it for children. Take the mantra, go and do the prayer, pull up your flag, and when you're done, you was failing maths, pass maths. So the Baba now gets payment for helping you cheat karma. The Pandit who knows what he's doing takes the grains and burns it in the fire. And when the person who, you end up in a scenario like that, where the person is using their mantras properly. Every time you give dan, every time you give charity, you will find, just like the till has a purpose, every time you give it, you find that, you know what, I'm seeing myself improve. The family life is good. It is getting better. For the parents that afraid, they have girl children, and they're afraid somebody interfere with them. What to do? Give greens in Dan. Pandit, we just do that. True. Define a green. Define a green. And you'll hear something, a seed that could grow. There are many people till today will give Pandit Amitabh Dal. Think what's in you're doing it. But are giving dal. Problem with dal is, will it grow? Not today, not tomorrow, not next week. It's a split dal. For this reason, when people are given, if it's a little bit, I get a little bit of dan, hill rice, whichever one, it has the potential to grow. This is why when you're doing your Nrga puja, and all of we just put the coconut in the fire, and you just want to shake it and make sure it have water or the potential to grow. The cloth you wrap that coconut in have no value in it. That whole thing with the cloth is just for it to look like a ball of fire. I am giving the energy in the coconut, the life. How I give is so I get. So the person now is decorated to make it look a way, to represent the energy, the potential energy in the coconut. So when I give it, I must get the energy in my life. I need help, I need healing, I need peace. This lady only curling, she's going through menopause, and oh my God, when you understand the trouble, you have to find a way to solve it. So for example, I have diabetes and the sugar getting really bad. Our text says that disease and disease like it has a problem with water retention. When you have disease that has water retention, imagine somebody have psoriasis and the skin is full of pus or fluid-filled sores. Give water in charity and you'll see that come under control. Varun is the Devta there, and he does cause diabetes to be gentle with some people. They live their whole life, they eating the parsad, they eating this, that, and the other, no problem. And some people, they watch the parsad, they're in trouble. Some people have it like that. Then the person learns, you know what? Somebody dead in the village, I go send 2 cases of water. That is my prayer, that is my thing. I'll do that, I'll help. Oh Christian, teach people how to live right with their pundit, with their Brahman, with the guide. There's a Ramayana discourse where Vashish Muni says the lowest job is the Purohit, or the person who does the puja, because he gain all the burden, all the sin. Oh God, everybody touchy foot. Consider this, why it is touchy pundit foot? Because you want the energy that the pundit do in the hawan and he accumulating, just like you pulling it over your head. I was some, and I take it. That is why as they get older, you will see pundits reach that point, they'll say, I don't let people touch my foot anymore. Because they reach that point that whatever good, punyam, whatever prayer, they are keeping it for their soul and their upliftment, their health too. This person becomes a servant, and if treated correct, the person could get the help. But what we do, we damn the person that is guided. And Christian says in verse 33, if poison is deadly, more deadly than poison, the halal poison where Lord Jiva drink, that fatal poison will kill one person, the person will drink it. It may even have an antidote for the poison. But when a person insults, in any way harms, hinders, attacks the person who is guiding them as their pundit or guru. This is why we have this rule, don't ill speak your godfather. That type of poisonous act damage and causes harm to not only you, the person who did it, but your family as well. It affects generation. It is an example of generational curse. Just as how fire could be extinguished by water, and different things could bring an end or closure to different problems. The person who insults the person that is trying to help you, uplift you, grow you. You are saying, I want betterment, I want prayers, I want good things, I want goodness. But you are doing more things to damn yourself. You are pulling down yourself because of how you mix with these people. When the person is given different authority, if you ever hear a pundit has the name Dubey. Dubey means the person has mastered 2 Ved, Chaubey, 4 Ved, Sastri. You just hear them a lot who check Patra and whatever. It means they have mastered Sastras, etc. When you get these people to lift their hand, as we were talking about Sita Mata feeding the Brahman, if you get this person to bless your home, eat food, etc., then you would be able to see the blessings that you are praying. This is part of our ritual as Sanatanis. However, it is have people who just want to rob the pundit, take from the pundit. You know much time pundit Amitabh get robbed? It have people who just make deposit and want to do withdrawal. All kind of craziness. If you make this mistake, stop it. Give what you could afford. Speak with humility and respect. Be honest. This morning, I get as my Sida a zabuka, and I was very happy for my zabuka because the old lady smiled. You could collect what you want, but some people have a very nasty way of talking. That don't make sense. Better you give less and talk good, live good according to your dharma. You'll get more blessing that way. If it was so, then heaven would be filled with king and rich and bright people in that way with gold. And poor people like Sudama and others wouldn't have a hope. People like Shabri didn't have a chance. However, till today you remember those names though. How many kings gone, come and gone, and we don't remember these people because of their focus. In this way, this is another little improvement that we all could buck up on. In this life, when people talk about Kali Yuga, you are so intelligent. I am so intelligent. I am going to ill speak the teacher that is helping make me better. There are many explanations for the amount of psychotic people that exist in this world. People that have different mental problems. Garud Puran is the best place to see it. You take your brain and you start to speak mother. The girl starts to bash the mother-in-law, etc. The school teacher, how much school teachers get in it now? And nobody is respected anymore. But school teacher bad when they do this and they do that and do the other. But in your prayer, to me, what matter, you are my first God and Guru. So it starts at home. How you live with your parents. How you treat. As I said it last night, people love their mother and father once they get a deed yet. But when you get a deed, man, me changing pampers every day. If I could leave you in a pampers for 3 days, you could stop there. Sound funny until you are the person in the pampers. But you know what some people think? That will not come back. That will not follow you. Some people live in a little daydream about that. In the same way, we live in a time where people disrespect and disregard people that help you in different ways. Long ago, people used to say good evening to everybody. Uncle, auntie, whosoever, neighbor. Now we don't have that anymore. That level of decorum and respect. He says here, Krishna says here, if you read your Gita, and he says, I protect those that protect the Brahman. I always protect the Brahman. This is why. Because you are the teacher that is helping people find their way back to God. And because they tend to be soft-minded, they are not the warrior type. They are not the type to go and pick up a weapon and bash in. He says in Ram Janam, in Krishna Janam, I support them. And support them anyway, give them the energy that when they lift their hand, when they are pleased, when they eat your food and they're happy, you inherit the benefit and the blessing by making them comfortable. Vindravan Bihari Lal ki jai. When the soul of this king was finished, he said, blessed is the person that is able to learn from my episode. That in all the prayer that you are doing for Krishna, and you want upliftment, and we all do his prayer when we have Shrad, when we have Gita Path, and we want peace and we life good. But you ill speak your guru, you ill speak your parents, you hate them, then understand that it is not going to work the way you want it to work. In this age of Kali Yuga, people will damn the same hand that is trying to lift you and make you into a better person. Call them the pundit, call them the school teacher, the parent, you name it. There are parents now that have to stay quiet or else. As a pundit, I say it. People wouldn't tell you. But more parents gain licks now than children gain licks. But God could accept me because I have an asari. God could love me because I wear in more sin. You could pay the way you want. You had to answer for that karma. That is what your prayer show you. Put your hands together as you do the Ashiva, the last verse. Having this lesson of Dharma, if Dharma is the guiding principle, O Parikshit, in this case of Nrga's case, his story, The residents of Dwarka heard by listening to this discourse, if the person has done any wrong to Brahman, to parent, or any guru, the prayer is, dear God, I didn't know this would have a ramification against me. Forgive me, dear God, and bless me to walk out of that past sin. I am asking for forgiveness. Please bless me for forgiveness, and if you've never done it, bless me never to do it. Bless me to be humble in front of my teachers. Bless me to have the right decorum. And when nobody is looking, bless me to have the right thinking when it comes to my pundit. Bless me to have the right conversation, to have a good way and mannerism, so that the blessing that I am looking for will walk into my life. Vindravan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Everybody, this brings us to the end of tonight's discourse. And I want you to consider, if you're the type of person that is doing prayer, but somehow the family is not in peace, you don't have the health. Trust me, prayer does work when done properly. And what we focus on is the length of the bamboo, the straightness of the bamboo, who make the flag big. Sometimes you have to look at yourself too. And if done properly, if you prepare yourself, because when you read Bhagavad and you're celebrating, for example, Sudama and all these other people, we don't study what Sudama, gold or gem or whatever he's wearing. You study Sudama, the qualities of the person. And if we attach that same introspection for us, birthday, New Year's, how could I be a better Sanatanist, a better Hindu, and attach myself to my God as you get older? In the right way, and we practice truth, maybe truthfully things would be better with me. Tonight, as I conclude, I remember in my prayer my dear friend Komal Maharaj. For those of you who are not from this area, Pandit BP is a senior Pandit, school teacher, help and guide many people. For every parent here, somebody kidnapped yours, and days passing and you don't know where yours is. Tell me how you feel. Just feel. That's all I ask you. We're going to say a little prayer. But Baba, man, that damn problem. It have people like that. Until it touch my grass. Yeah. But then I believe in God. God says, have compassion for people. Regardless who they are or what they have, it does not matter. Practice in your prayer. As a Hindu, we pray for everybody. We pray for dog, cattle, bird, fish, you name it. We do it. We just say a small prayer for this family and for the safe return of this child. Om Namaste Rudra Rupinyai Namaste Madhumardani Nama Kaitavya Harinyai Namaste Mahisa Sadhini Namaste Shubhayantre Cha Nishumbha Surya Gatini Jagratam He Mahadevi Japam Siddham Kurushva Me Himkari Shrishta Rupinyai Himkari Pratipalika Klimkari Kamarupinyai Bija Namostute Chamunda Chandagati Cha Yinkari Vardayani Vicha Chabhaya Nityam Namaste Mantra Rupini Dham Dim Dum Durgate Patnim Vamvim Vum Vageshwari Kram Kring Krum Kalika Devi Samsim Sum Shubham Kuru Om Hum Kar Rupinyai Jam Javandanandini Brahm Rim Brum Bhairavi Badre Bhavani Te Namo Nama Chandipad Siddhya Kunjika Stotra Sampurnam Pujitam Hitarate Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. Dear God, if my prayer has any value, send that child home. Protect those parents. Save them and keep them in your care. Prabhu, protect that boy wherever he is. And for all of us, today we're talking about that child. The other day, Pandit Mohan, one get gone down in the yard. When we invite them, they're living right up the road, Sisters Road. And he's the one who has been doing the Dash Gatra for everybody for how many years? I told them, as we do for every prayer, please come, we had Jack. And they told Priya, well, you know, since they killed my son, we have bad dog and we have gate, and now we're afraid to come outside. Prayerful people afraid. When we had Jag here, he does not speak. Baba, we'll come in the daytime. Baba, we'll come lunchtime. Now we used to have Yag free. You could have come and go. Now we have to have security outside. Please remember when you're going home, those people remain there so that we could be safe. Tell them Sitaram and thank you. Give thanks for people who help you. Prem Sabolo Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. Everybody, let's all stand as we've come to the end of this section and this session of our Yagya. Wow. Tomorrow morning we continue again. Tomorrow morning we'll mark our 16th session and we only have 21, so it's 6 to go. We'll do Friday and Saturday, 3 sessions Saturday. We'll do Visarjan on Saturday evening. And Sunday morning, when we did Matikor to bring him earth to sit on the bedi, we'll return Mother just across the road, Tasa and all of those things. Sunday morning, we cooking a different menu. You're all invited. You know, we just have fun with food, trying to teach these children different, this is our summer school, different recipes and all kind of things. Thank you for being here, everybody. Let's pray together. Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan ki hai aarti, papiyon ko paap se hai jaarti. Bhagavat Bhagavan ki aarti, papiyon ko ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मोक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला. Everybody, let's sing together. हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही, जग की मंगल के आरती, जय जय भागवत भगवान की शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला. ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला. है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी, ये मधुसूदन की आरती, पापियों को पाप से तारती. जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को पाप से तारती. ये मधुर बोल जग बंद खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला।
ये मधुर बोल जग बंद बोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला।
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही,
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही,
प्रभु की महिमा के आरती।
पापियों को पाप से तारती।
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती।
पापियों को पाप से तारती।
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
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 गोविंद बोलो गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो गोपाल बोलो।
गोविंद बोलो गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमन हरि गोविंद
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी,
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी,
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा,
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
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 गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमन हरि बोलो, राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो। Dear Lord Krishna, tonight as we conclude, we thank you for allowing us the opportunity to sit truly in satsang, together with good people doing godly things. Tonight we got to hear where Lord Krishna gets that name Mukunda. And when people are doing Pindadan, Sabindadan, when they're doing his prayer, singing his bhajan, and they're calling Mukunda Madhava, and they're singing for you, dear God, tonight I know what it means now. That regardless to my history, regardless to all the mistakes I've made, I could still get liberation through Lord Mukunda. Thank you for that knowledge. Thank you for that little tidbit of information. Together, everybody. Tvameva Mata. Lift your voice. Tvameva Jasika. Tvameva. Tvameva Vidya. Tvameva Sarvam. Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti. Everybody. Shanti Hari Om. Together with one voice. Prem Svaloma Pati Mahadeva ki jai. Pavana Putra Numana ki jai. Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai. Jai Jai Sita. Sitaram, everybody. Please have your seat. Everybody.